Welcome back to the further adventures of the monad. Where have we got to so far in our recap with regards to the designation of matter? We know it evolves through four principal states: primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary matter. These classes of matter do not stand in isolation from one another. At the bottom of the pyramid resides primary matter, which is ubiquitous in the entire universe. It, however, is too energetic to be left off the leash in polite company. For this reason, it is strung into necklaces that go on to form the atomic backbone of 48 further planes of matter. There comes a time in a primary atom's existence when it is tapped on the shoulder by the second logos and told it is now conscious. This consciousness may be very limited, but it does signal a whole new series of adventures for our monad. This secondary monad is no larger than the primary monad. It just happens to have a magnetic consciousness field around it that opens a whole new world of possibilities. This transformation takes place in just one of the 7 cosmic kingdoms, the lowest, the 7th. Being only passively conscious, our hapless secondary monads have to wait around till another more advanced monad wishes to interact with them. This process starts when the inexorable march of evolution takes the secondary monad to the next major transformation. Tertiary matter is actively conscious and can start to play a much bigger role in the guided evolution of itself and its lower evolved siblings. The two most valuable roles it plays are acting as a recorder of events, as tertiary matter is now able to remember conscious vibrations. It is also able to form envelopes. This is a very useful attribute, and it is from here that we are going to discuss the interactions between our 4 classes of matter. Concentrating on our solar system, the first thing to note is that we are talking about the cosmic physical kingdom. For us humans, even this span of 7 planes of matter is still beyond our scope of interaction. For us, it is just the lowest 3 planes of matter, 47 to 49, that constitute who we are and what we can get up to. This, as is the case with us humans, is very egocentric, as if all this complexity is just about us and our well-being. The reality is that there are 7 streams of co-evolutionary monads, all seeking to expand their consciousness. Even here, I'm just talking about quaternary monads. If we discount primary matter as not being accessible directly, what we are left with is secondary, tertiary, and quaternary matter. Of these 3, it is tertiary matter that really holds the key to active cooperation, especially its ability to form envelopes. This allows the gathering in of matter from an external environment to allow focused evolution/involution to occur. There is an inner and an outer. The inner comes to be known as a being. Why? Because it now has an organizational structure that has a coherent life of its own. Take, for example, our emotional body. This being is composed of a membrane of tertiary matter, encapsulating a collection of secondary matter. This body is subdivided into 7 planes, vibrating at successively denser vibrations. The highest, the atomic subplane, is where the permanent atom resides, along with lots of other atoms. They are unique in this envelope as they are composed of the foundation matrix of the 48th plane of matter. For most of us, this is where our monad is consciously residing. It sits in a cluster of tertiary atoms. These tertiary atoms form the basis of our subconscious memory that we carry from one incarnation to another. Here you see a major interaction between two classes of matter, tertiary and quaternary. It also goes further. The atomic tertiary matter also forms an envelope around the quaternary monad and encompasses inside it 6 lower vibrational subplanes. These subplanes are no longer atomic in structure but molecular. What does this molecular mean? It means that new agglomerations of monads come together from the basic matrix of the atoms that make up the 48th plane of matter. These new molecules themselves get denser as they descend to the lower subplanes. What is this molecular matter anyway? It is the secondary monad, the elemental essence, our pesky little friend. Remember, however, the molecule itself is made from primary matter that has aggregated into an atom and then combined again to form a molecule. Residing in the midst of this collection of matter is one tiny secondary atom. Tiny it may be, but this one monad defines what that whole molecule represents. Think about this for a minute. You have a molecule that has over 2.8 times 10 to the 79 primary monads forming the molecule itself, and then just one monad having the consciousness potential of a secondary atom. Yet we call this molecule an elementary essence, as though that is all it is. I hope you see by now just how interactive the 4 different grades of matter really are. Getting back to our envelope of tertiary matter. Because it is there, we have an emotional body. It is called an emotional body because the elemental essences it contains are vibrating at a particular range of frequencies that are only found on the emotional plane. The whole organizational structure is not ruled over by us, the quaternary monad, but by a team of devas that organize this body. Knowing this should encourage you to reflect just how beholden we are to not just other grades of matter, but other streams of life. They all come together to furnish us with a vehicle that allows us to expand our consciousness in our solar system. This brings us to the end of the recap on matter and its interactions. It is easy to grasp the importance of primary matter and to appreciate the functions of secondary matter. It is when you get to tertiary matter that functions become less clear. I hope from the previous presentation it is now clear where primary matter fits into the spectrum of matter and monadic consciousness. Quaternary matter is also easy to grasp as this is us, but we also have to be aware that it is also monads in the mineral kingdom. This may be more challenging for some. The foundational matrix for Hylozoics has been laid out. Where do we go from here? Well, if you have matter, it is trying to evolve. How is it doing it? We have looked at that in some detail. It all comes together for us in this solar system in the structure and functioning of the triadic envelope. Let's recap what that is all about in the next presentation. Thank you very much.